All right. Welcome in to Mogul House Live. This is our kickoff of season 2, so we're super pumped to have you here. And we've got an amazing guest tonight. I never asked you the pronunciation. I want to make sure I get that right.
Yeah, it's Ghadban.
Ghadban. Okay, so I was right when I was discussing it. So awesome artist. But before we get into that, there's a couple things that we want to let you know about. We are now on YouTube. So go ahead in the chat. There's going to be a link for you. You can go follow over there. We're going to have our video on demands. We're going to have highlighted artist performances, all kinds of stuff like that. So definitely go check out and subscribe to the YouTube channel for all of that. We have Liam Jones actually is going to be our first post for that today, which is awesome. We also have some new emotes you can use. As you can tell, if you're subscribed, you'll be able to use a lot of those in there. So pop some of those in the chat for us. We'd love to see them. And then as well, if you have any questions, I do want to remind you also that we have the !Q command, and you can ask a question, and they'll tell you all about that in chat. But we have an excellent artist today. This is Ghadban. So I got that right this time. And so, yeah, it's awesome to have you, man. It's great to have you.
Thank you, man.
Awesome, yeah. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, real quick. What got you into music, man? What got you into doing this whole thing?
There's a lot of aspects to it. I mean, I think when I was really young, I would like listen to music, specifically Bruno Mars.
Gotcha.
And I would like be like imagining myself like singing to like whatever my crush was at the time, when I was super young or whatever. And as I got older, it just became something that I would always dream about, like daydream all the time about. And but when I was like in middle school, end of middle school, I got guitar lessons for the first time, and it was just something that like kind of, it was like an explosion, especially when I listened to Jimi Hendrix. When I listened to Voodoo Child's Slight Return by Jimi Hendrix on the record version, it just yeah, I felt like I knew him or something. It was really weird. It was a very spiritual experience, and from that day, I've just nonstop tried to play guitar and sing and do the thing.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, we have quite a few songs of yours. I'm very excited to hear. Yeah. So what are you going to kick us off with today?
I'm going to kick off an original called Arrive Alive. This is the first song off of my first album.
Cool.
Yeah.
So awesome.
There we go.
Awesome. Well, you're watching Mogul House Live. This is Ghadban with Arrive Alive.
On the horizon, there's more you'll know. I'm wasted with no mission, it's shaky from the blow. The floor sinks in, the devil pulls you close. The lights all up in my eyes. Do I go left or right? Oh, just try to arrive alive, arrive alive. The lights all up in my eyes. Do I go left or right? Oh, just try to arrive alive, arrive alive. No. I've never been more scared in my life. I wake up terrified, like, man, what the fuck is my life? I don't know, maybe life hits harder than it seems. Oh, you're snorting too much, baby. You're gonna go crazy. Just please stay clean, baby, before you see the lights all up in my eyes. Do I go left or right? Oh, just try to arrive alive, arrive alive. The lights all up in my eyes. And do I go left or right? Oh, just try to arrive alive, arrive alive.
Wow. Wow, that was incredible, Chad. We need some love in there for Ghadban. Wow. So that was an awesome song. Arrive Alive. What inspired you to write that song?
It was, I was kind of dealing with a lot of like addiction issues
Okay.
when I kind of first came upon like writing it, and it was strange because a lot of this record has to do with like the beach. I don't know why a lot of my inspiration came from me going to the beach with my friends, sitting there, and then there was one day when I was playing that riff, and I was just playing it on the beach. I was trying to come up with ideas, and then we were driving back, and I saw this sign that said "Don't drink and drive, arrive alive." And I was just like, "That's nice phonetics." I
Yeah.
just really like how that sounded, and I wrote it down. And then I kind of made the beat, and it just kind of came to me, especially like just the idea of like I was really into like horror movies and stuff. So I wanted to create R&B music that wasn't necessarily something that made you feel sexy, but something that made you maybe a bit afraid, kind of like an existential dread.
Okay.
And that vibe that was like the start of that record, was that song. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's an awesome history behind that. You say so you write a lot from experiences, or do you write a lot from kind of a place of like personal things, or is it more like you see something and you kind of go for that?
It's definitely a mix of both, you know.
Gotcha.
I mean, whatever I experience is going to be influenced to my music. And
Right.
at that time when I made my first record, I just kind of lost a lot. It was right when the pandemic hit, so that was when I kind of started writing it. And obviously, I'm not alone in that. Everyone feels that. We all lost pretty much everything that we were used to and comfortable with. But not only that, you know, my girlfriend that I was really in love with, we had broken up, and my dad and I had kind of stopped talking a few months prior to that.
Wow.
So it was just a lot of loss, and I just felt very lost and very just like empty, and I didn't really know where to go.
Yeah.
So I went into music. I just went deeper into it, and I made a vow to myself that I'd make a beat every day, and I did that for about a year, and that's how how the record came about. And so it was always just like I wanted everything to just feel real. I wanted it to be just no BS. You know, I wanted everything that I sang about, everything that I wrote about, to be something that I truly felt, and wasn't doing it for any other reason than I felt that, and I wanted to share that.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. And we're glad that you found music, because you were absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
And if you're just joining us here, this is Ghadban. He is an excellent artist we have with us here today, and you're tuning into Mogul House Live, Season 2, Episode 1. We're kicking it off strong. You have a song list or a set list here of about 6 songs, I think. And you told me right before we started that a couple of them were from your first record, and I believe this was one of them that you just performed. Your second song is also as well? Or
Yeah,
Nice.
all of the first 3 songs. Yeah.
Nice, awesome. So that next song, what's the next song called?
It's called Ascend.
Ascend. Wow, that sounds like an awesome song already. I'm very excited to get into that. So and again, if we have any questions in the chat, don't be afraid to ask. Just type in !Q, and you'll be able to ask a question to our guest here. So let's go ahead and get into the next song. I'd love to hear some more of your music and some more of what's going on. So this next song is called Ascend by Ghadban, and we are very excited to have him here. So go ahead and get started. Get us in.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right. I wait for the clouds to break before I ascend again. Oh my, no, where did the heart go? It left my mind, oh, years ago. Where'd you go now? I wait for you. Saw my heart pound right when you ate it out. Saw diamonds filled in blue. Oh, devil eyes, won't you come and give us a surprise? I really need to see. Baby, please, this isn't how you get happy. There's more for us to see. Weightless, floating through the abyss, staring deep down, unable to see. I feel it, I feel it, I feel it, moving around me. Circling its prey. Before three eyes see me. Where'd you go now? I wait for you. Saw my heart bound right when you ate it out. Saw diamonds filled in blue. Oh, deviled eyes, oh, won't you come and give us a surprise? I really need to see. Baby, please, this isn't how you get happy. There's more for us to see.
That was incredible.
Thank you, sir.
Love that tune. That was awesome.
Thanks,
that was really, really awesome to see and hear. So what inspired you to write that tune, Ascend?
So this is kind of how the whole concept of the record kind of came about. Because first of all, I've kind of been always a person that like I always wanted to release records. I never wanted to release singles, and that might be just because I really love Prince. That might be a little too much, but you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Not with Prince, but I always wanted to create a project that was like cohesive. All the ideas were complementing each other within the piece, and that was like something that was really important to me that I create. And this song was kind of the first when I first kind of got the idea for the bigger picture of it, and it kind of came from a shroom trip. Also at the beach, so you know, there's the 2 songs in a row now. But yeah, I was at the beach. I went with my friends. We tripped. It was lovely. And then I went home and I microdosed a little bit before I went to sleep. And while I was dreaming, I relived the trip that I had just had. But then when I laid down on the beach, I felt myself get like lifted into the air, and I met this like goddess, which is the character that's on the front cover of the album. That's on the art. And basically like, I just remember being like lifted up and like she didn't have a mouth, so she just without words was like basically telling me to just like listen. And that's kind of where like, you know, the title comes into play, and the title track comes into play. Is I felt myself not listening to the people around me, and myself just being really self-obsessed and just in my own world, and not really appreciating what other people were having to say. And I saw that as well in other people besides myself, because I always felt like I was never really being heard when I would speak. A lot of the time I always just felt like I was background noise, and I just felt like people could we could do a lot of good for people to just listen to each other a little bit more in depth.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a great concept, and that's a great perspective on things as well. I think definitely listening to people is something that's always really great, and that's what we're all about here at Mogul, is listening to artists and what they bring to the table. So that's really awesome to hear. Speaking of listening, I'm gonna listen to chat for a second here.
Cool,
I'm gonna go ahead and get some questions in from chat. So Johnny Music Maker asked, where did you get the fit? He loves it.
Oh, Tennessee, Dixon, Tennessee, Hickman County. Shout out. That was where I made my second EP that's released everywhere. That's
nice.
I was living there for about a year. And that's kind of where I finished my first record, and then recorded and wrote my second. But it was a wonderful year because I had a great friend named Aaron Penbrook and Briley Miller, who I lived with, and I was able to live there rent free after saving up a bit of money by working at Pavilions. Shout out Pavilions. So I saved up some money, and I was able to just move out there and deal with everything that I've been trying to like tackle while having a day job, which is kind of hard. And I'm just forever grateful for those people because they were, just wonderful people. But yes, that's where I got the clothes.
Awesome.
It's in a small shop out there.
That's a really good story to the fit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. A good one behind that. We also have a very special question here from Bishop's World.
Okay.
What is your favorite guitar that you own?
Oh, it's definitely my Strat.
Your Strat.
And my Strat. Yeah, I didn't bring it today, but it's like actually both of these instruments. It was a gift from someone I would consider my main father figure.
Okay.
I met him in high school, and I went to a boarding arts high school called Idlewild Arts Academy, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. I learned so much there, and that's where I really started getting hip to jazz and understanding that world of music, and because I always loved improvisation coming from Jimi Hendrix. So when I got hip to like the jazz kids there and met some of the people there, it was wonderful. But the teacher who gave me that Strat, his name is Marshall Hawkins, and he is a world-renowned bass player. He played with Miles Davis. He was best friends with Donny Hathaway and Roberta Flack. And dude was just a monster of the bass, and was one of the kindest people I've ever met. And he took private lessons with me, even though he didn't really know me that well. And then he gave me that guitar. So I'm never gonna lose that motherfucker.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not in the slightest. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, those names. Donny Hathaway, are you kidding me?
I know, yeah.
Wow. Those are some big names. Big names.
For sure, yeah.
If you're just tuning in with us, I do want to let you know this is Mogul House Live. We're here with Ghadban, an amazing artist, and we're just chatting about some of his history about his fits and some of his history about his favorite guitars, which seems to be a pattern about gifts. You were talking to me about this one here a little bit earlier, which I think we'll get to in just a little bit. But man, amazing stuff. And again, I want to let chat know if you do have any questions, all you got to do is type !Q. You can throw those questions in there, and you can ask this wonderful artist anything your heart so desires. We'll get them in there. And yeah, so that's awesome. So those two were both off your first record. And you said you like to write more in records.
Yeah.
Do you have plans for another? Have you released anything recently? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, I just released my second EP, or my second album.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's labeled an EP, but whatever. It's like kind of the same thing.
Right.
But that one's really personal because that one I wrote on piano. It was very inspired by Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway.
Awesome.
A lot of those more piano-based artists. Erykah Badu is another one. And it was something that listen was a great expression and something that got me kind of started finding my own voice. But I really wanted to sing about things that were my real life. And I wanted to sing about, because I was having a lot of trouble with my perspectives, as I mentioned earlier, with my father and my now ex-girlfriend. I was just questioning, what did I do wrong? So I thought if I write a song from their perspective on how they saw our relationship, that might kind of clear some things up and make me kind of understand their perspective more and not hold on to grief and maybe hate or just, sadness in general, and maybe help get past these issues. And it was very therapeutic, and I'm really, really proud of the record. I just released it this past Monday, and it was one of the nicest days I've had in a long time. And it felt really wonderful because I did everything on it. I played the drums, I played everything except the bass and the shaker on track 3. Shout out Aaron and Briley. That was not me.
Bass and shaker.
Yeah, bass and shaker. Yeah, they killed it. But everything else on the record was me, and it felt really good to put it out. Wow. And the projects I have coming up, I'm actually working on a horror movie album with some rappers and some different great artists. One producer named Benny Beats. He's like the main collaborator I'm working with. He's an incredible producer and drummer and multi-instrumentalist. So I'm working on that, and then I'm also looking to do a lot more, do a jazz standards album.
Nice.
Because that's been a recent love of mine as well.
Nice.
So I've got a lot of stuff I'm working on. It's all I want to do with my life. So
that's awesome.
I make sure to fill myself up with it.
Yeah, totally. And you definitely have the talent to do it. And everybody here in chat realizes that for sure. For sure.
Appreciate you.
But that is absolutely awesome. So you have plenty of of projects coming up. And as you just heard, he just released an EP on Monday. So you can check that out. I believe we have some commands in the chat that are going to help out with that. You'll see those links there. That's absolutely awesome. We'll be able to go listen to your tunes and your new record, and some new music. I was listening to the new record pretty much all of this last week, prepping, just trying to get a feel for you as an artist. And man, it was incredible. And I absolutely loved it. I totally heard so many influences from, Gary Clark Jr., things like that. Some influences that I also share with you. So that was awesome to discuss with you a little bit before the stream, and I'm sure we'll get a little bit more into that. And so this next tune that you're gonna play here, tell me about it. Tell me the title. Tell me a little bit about what it meant to you.
Yeah, this next song is called "Keep Things the Same." This is probably, I love them all, but this is right now. This is my favorite song off my first record.
Wow.
It's there was a lot of, I really wanted to create, like, when I was going into the project, I was like, okay, I want to take blues and I want to take my love of Arabic music and Middle Eastern music and put that together. And at Cal Arts, where I was attending college for a semester and a half before the pandemic hit, I was being taught by a guitar player named Miroslav Tadic, and he's a wonderful guitar player. He taught me so much about playing an odd rhythm, and it came into this song. There's a little tune that I played before I get into the song that's a tribute to him because he taught me the tune.
Oh, wow.
So it's like half a cover, but then it becomes something much more than that, and much more original. But I still like to play it in the beginning because it's just lovely, and I love just sharing that tune because I don't think a lot of people know about it, and it's how I wrote the song. So it's like it kind of just works within the piece.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful to get to share something that somebody shared with you in your own personal music. That's absolutely amazing. That's awesome to hear. Well, you are watching Mogul House Live. This is Ghadban. He's an amazing artist, and he's going to play us a new song. And remind me of the title of that one.
Keep Things the Same.
Keep Things the Same.
We'd love to, right?
Yeah, we'd love to all the time.
All the time.
So, anyways, kick us off.
I shall.
Save your words of wealth for someone else. Speak from the heart. Say what you mean. Oh, I was frozen in the trees. Have I fallen, or will I leave? I'm frozen, oh, in the trees. Have I fallen, or will I leave? What can I do? No, what can I say to keep things the same? What can I do? No, what can I say to keep things the same? I'll try to keep us alive, but you ran out of town. It was hard on you, I know. It cut you to the bone. Oh, I was frozen in the trees. Have I fallen, or will I leave? I'm frozen, oh, in the trees. Have I fallen, or will I leave? What can I do? No, what can I say to keep things the same? What can I do? No, what can I say, yeah, to keep things the same?
Wow. What a tune that was. Absolutely incredible. I love the vocals on that one as well. And that intro with the kind of Middle Eastern style, man, that was incredible. So you told me a little bit about it, but tell me some. Got to hear more about that. So that cover of the song, what song was that?
I know that this is the worst. I don't know the name.
Okay.
I can't remember it. It's like something in Middle Eastern. But, you know, I can like post it to my Instagram or something.
There you go.
Because I really should shout it out. It's a great song and like not mine.
No,
so I really
totally.
should shout it out.
I definitely want to hear it for sure. At least text it to me.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like it was taught to me just over guitar. I didn't
Right.
even know it was like I didn't really know where to find it or like listen to
Right.
it. I just have the video of my guitar teacher playing it to me and like told me to learn it. And then I like learned it and I was like, oh, I got this. You know?
Well, we're glad you put it in there. That's an amazing little snippet of that tune.
Thank you, man.
Loved that that transition to it flowed so smooth into your original piece over top of that. And tell me a little bit. Did the cover inspire you to write the rest of that song? It was that.
Yeah, it was literally born out of it. It
Gotcha.
was, I mean, the actual finger shape, because at the end of the tune, it's like, that's like
Gotcha.
the ending shape. I just moved that one note, and it just kind of, I don't know, my brain exploded. Also, so, you know, I had some marijuana, so I had some juices going, you know?
You got something going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it felt very spiritual. Like when
Right.
I like wrote it, I was like, this connects to a part of me that I've never been to before, but it just makes me feel so dang good. And I'm just like, yeah, this is nice, you know?
Yeah, that's great. Great when you get to use that influence, you know, from just how you're feeling and really portray it in music. Not a lot of artists get to do that, and that's obviously such a spiritual experience to be able to do. I do have some questions from chat. Again,
That's great. I'm down for it.
Yeah.
And just real quick, I've been looking up at the chat. Everyone's been so sweet. I just like it. Really means a lot to me that how sweet everyone's being. It means like the world.
Shout out to
Thank you.
chat over here.
Yeah,
for you.
Y'all are the best. Thank you.
You are absolutely the best, 100%. And you're also the best, Ghadban. What an excellent artist. Such
Thank
a
you
treat
so much, man.
to
Really
have you here.
appreciate it. It's a blessing to be here, bro.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's awesome to hear. Well, we have a couple questions. I'm gonna start with the one you're probably gonna want to talk a little bit more about.
For sure.
That Stratocaster you were talking about a little earlier.
Yeah.
We had a question from Kenny Andy,
Yeah.
another fantastic guitar player here in the Twitch world, in the
Yeah.
Twitchverse, and he wants to know the specs. He's got to know the specs.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. You know, there's a reason I don't build or like fix up guitars. I take them to people to fix them up
Gotcha.
for me because I don't know that stuff too well. But I will tell you that it's a. It was a maintenance workers
Okay.
that they owned in like I think like the 80s.
Okay.
It's very old. The paint job on it is super strange.
Mm-hmm.
You can probably see photos of it on my Instagram. _ Ghadban _ I think there's some pictures up there. If not, I'll post some tonight, so there will be.
There you go.
Yeah, but
We're putting you to work today.
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I'm happy to do it. I know I have gold lace sensors that I put in
Gotcha.
there. Gold lace sensor pickups, single coils.
Gotcha.
And yeah, it was kind of strange because when I got the guitar, they had these really rusted Seymour Duncans in there that were just unusable.
Yeah.
And so I it's funny because I already had those lace sensors sitting in my house for years because I tried to build guitar when I was younger, and then I was like, I'm not a guitar engineer. I should just leave this to the professionals. I'll just save up money and buy it already done. So I just had those sitting around for a while from a failed project, and it perfectly fit the guitar. The color was the same, like it was black and white, just like the guitar. So it just perfectly fit it. And I remember when I put it in there, it was just like, this is my child. I love you so much. You know? I will carry you for the rest of my life. You know, kind of vibe. So that's the best I can do with the specs, though.
Yeah, no, totally. I think that's exactly what Kenny was asking there.
Okay, cool.
For sure. He did have another question though, and this I want to know. When is if not already Ghadban streaming on Twitch?
See, okay, here's the thing. I am down to learn about it because I am not hip to how to use it.
Yes.
I'm like, Twitch is pretty, it's like weird to like even like think of it as a thing for me because I'm just such a grandpa. Like I just like, I don't like, I spend like the most I do like on like the interwebs is like watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's like mainly what I do on the internet, which is not really the internet. That's a streaming service, but it uses Wi-Fi, so I think it counts.
Counts enough.
Yeah.
You gotta use the internet to get
for
there.
sure. But I mean, I'd love to do some streams. Honestly, like I'd be really down to get into that because it's only been recently, honestly, in the past year that I've had the confidence to really put myself out there, and I feel I'm in a place now where I'd be really down to do that. So. I will have a Twitch account out soon, probably.
There we go. There we go. You heard it here first. An exclusive moment. He's got a Twitch account coming soon. He's got a Twitch account coming soon. To a laptop near you. There it is. To the chat near you. Yeah, so that's awesome to hear. You were definitely right about Twitch. It definitely doesn't always feel like the most normal thing to get into, and especially when you're not really hip to it, and I was not very hip to it, and it definitely boosted my confidence, like you were talking about, in just becoming the artist that I love. So I know that everyone here in chat would love to see you on the platform. I can tell. I mean, look at how crazy they're going in there for you. They're definitely loving this, and they'd love to see this more. I definitely would. So if you've only got it for one viewer, I'm there. I'm there.
I mean, you're enough, bro.
There you go.
I got you, dude.
There you go. All right, we have one more question before we want to move on to the next song. Cool. That question is, if you could collab with anyone, who would you collab with?
That's a good question. See, I could be egotistical, or I could be more humble right now. I could be like, I don't know. I mean, Stevie Wonder's the GOAT. Wonder's the GOAT. But I also feel like if I worked with him, like, he said what he needs to say. Like, I don't really feel like, I feel like, I don't know. I would just like to sit down with that kind of dude. But I think the person I'd love to work with the most is probably Nick Hakim.
Okay.
Because he's someone who's more modern, who really I connect with. Like, there's plenty of artists that I do, like including Hiatus Coyote. I guess that'd be another one. Nia Palm. She's just insane. And just to be able to feel some of that energy that either of those people put off would be beautiful to me. Nick Hakim, especially because he was, when I heard his voice for the first time, it was funny because a lot of people said that I kind of sounded like him, and I never knew who he was. So I was like, oh, okay. I'd love to, like, listen to him. And I heard I Don't Know. And not only is that song and all of his songwriting just immaculate and beautiful, his voice I really resonated with it, because not only was it super soulful and a low register, kind of like my own, but it was also very, it was just very, he didn't care about like messing up or like sounding weird, because he's a weird dude. So he was just like, I'm gonna be myself. I'm kind of weird, and I felt that. I'm a very goofy person. When I really feel like it, I love, stand-up comedy is like my favorite go-to on pastime,
Awesome.
And just comedy in general and weird stuff. So to hear someone with that level of confidence of like, I don't give a crap. I'm just gonna sing how I sing. Whatever comes out and feels good to me. And so I would want to work with him for that reason.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's definitely a really good perspective on working with someone. Although I would love to see a Ghadban Stevie Wonder collab. I have to say
Word,
that would
yeah.
be
I
that
mean,
would be
me
a
too,
moment
bro,
of the
you know?
ages, you know.
Yeah,
And
that
I'm
would be
sure he
crazy.
has something to say. When he meets you, he's gonna have a bunch to say, especially about that outfit. He's probably gonna steal the outfit. That would be
Right,
could you
yeah.
imagine Stevie Wonder in that fit? That would be like
It'd be
legendary.
crazy. Yeah.
But you
crazy.
on a stage with Stevie Wonder in that fit, even more legendary. So
Yeah,
that
I
would
mean,
be incredible.
I wouldn't forget that, man.
That would be incredible, incredible.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about this next song. What's the title?
So, should I do the guitar switch now? I feel like
Sure,
this is
yeah.
the time to do it.
Guitar switch.
Guitar
Switch. Is that?
So the next song that I'm performing. Yes. Come
Beautiful
clutch.
guitar.
Thank you, man. This is this was a gift from my good friend Briley Miller, one of my best friends. He was in my first band in high school, and I have just nothing but flowers for that man. He gave this to me for my 21st birthday, and it has been so inspiring to me. It really made me like. Because I always got ripped on in high school, like, oh, you can't play bebop, man. You're a blues dude, man. Like, you only know pentatonic scales, dude. And I was like, oh, okay, that's sad. But I eventually like kind of gained the oomph to try to take a crack at it, and it really opened me up to just like different ideas and stuff like that. But yeah, shout out Briley Miller. He gave this to me for my 21st birthday, and I'll never forget it, man. This is a beautiful guitar.
That's
Beautiful
awesome.
guitar.
That's awesome. Well, we are very, very excited for this next tune. If you are just joining us, you're watching Mogul House live. We have Ghadban here. He's about to play us another tune, and we are very, very excited for this one. So kick us off, man.
Sounds good. All right.
My love, it's been a long time. I haven't seen you in years. Well, you look well, oh, look fine indeed. Similar only to candy sweet. Oh, how I long to see you again. I never thought I'd get the day. You made my heart skip a beat all night. Every time you looked in my eyes, oh, here I am, surrounded by love, and yet I still feel so cold. I forgot how, oh, it felt when you just walk into a room. Everybody's looking at you, some wanna be you, but most just want to abuse you. Oh, how I long to see you again. I never thought I'd get the day. You made my heart skip a beat all night. Every time you looked in my eyes, oh, it's been a long time, yeah. Said it's been a long time. Said it's been a long, long time. Oh
Wow. Wow. What an incredible tune. And I saw a comment in there that I resonated with for a second there. Expensive chords. Expensive
I saw that
chords.
too. I looked up and saw that.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a cute comment.
Wow. what chords in there are just like, I don't even want to ask. That's gonna be too much for me. Anyways, that was an amazing tune, man, and you really totally did nail that vibe. So don't let anybody tell you that you couldn't do that, because you definitely just did, and
Thank you. Thank
I know everybody in chat agrees there. That was incredible.
Thank you, man.
And the vocals on that, I heard that little Stevie Wonder vocal riff in there, man, incredible stuff.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed that. And so besides kind of the trying to tackle it, what really inspired the lyrical content of this song?
I was really trying to get with this girl that I really was just head over heels for. She's so wonderful, bubbly, and beautiful, just everything that I wanted. And I saw her, like, this kind of happened like 7 or 8, like not 7, like 6 months ago, maybe 5 months ago, pretty recent. I wrote the song pretty recently, because this is the record. I mean, I told you before the cameras were on and stuff that is like the concept record that I'm kind of like still working on and stuff. That was called Long Time, by the way. And basically I just hadn't seen her in a long time.
Yeah.
And it was really, really good to see her. And that song came out of me that night. And the chords, if you were wondering where they came from Blue Bossa. It's like an old jazz standard.
Yeah.
And usually they have like that modulation in like the middle of it. And I kind of added another one and like used it as like a chorus instead of like just part of like the loop that's within the other 2-5-1 or whatever. 2-5-1. Yes. It was about her, and she's with somebody that she really loves, so it's like I have nothing but flowers for that, and I hope they do great for each other, but I'm still a little sad, so I have that song to express it when I feel it,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's definitely let's look at all the pop music from the last like 50 years, and it's all about some woman that went away. So definitely understand.
Way over town.
She's good to me. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. That's really awesome, and I'm glad you got to express yourself in that way, in such a beautiful way.
Thank you,
man, that was an amazing song. I really love that tune.
Appreciate that.
And I can't wait to hear that one everywhere. I want to hear it. I want to hear that recorded. I want to have that on my playlist.
I'm gonna try to get it out in the next year or so.
There we
But
go.
that's gonna be a long album. That's a big concept, because I'm trying to talk about having expectations for how your life will go, because that's kind of something that my father had. He really thought he was going to be this big star and big comedian, big filmmaker. Didn't really work out that way, and he kind of pushed that on me, especially when I was young, and like really made me like work harder than any 16-year-old probably should work. Like it was just, if I wasn't working on music, I was doing chores, So I was like, all right, I'll just play guitar all the time then, because then I never have to sweep or take out the trash or anything, And it was, I just saw how it got to him, and how all these preconceived notions he thought his life was going to go, and how what he thought of himself and how highly he thought of himself, it just crumbled underneath him. And I really want to comment on that in this record. And I'm trying to do it in a way where it's like, you kind of start out with the character Dapper Dan, and he's just a working class Joe trying to have a family because he thinks that's what's going to make him happy, And when he gets all that, none of it makes him happy, and he realized he wasted his life doing stuff that he actually didn't really want to do, because he never stopped to ask himself the question. He just listened to what everyone else was saying to do. So it leads to this like spiral. And that's why I always also simultaneously want in the same record to have like punk and like screamo music with like and like Deftonesy kind of vibes with like the really like bluesy and soulful kind of stuff. Wow. So I wanted to try to put that in the same record, because I feel like nobody really tries to like do that. Like there's not a lot of like, because I really love like intense music. I really love like scary and like just really angry music. And I feel like there's a way to do that with like soul music, because I think obviously like anger is a part of the soul. And it's something, emotion everyone experiences. So there's a way to blend it,
Yeah. Anger is a part of the soul. What a quote.
Yeah, it is.
What a quote there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Not all
That's
of it, but it's there.
Yeah. It's an amazing perspective on so much there that you gave us. So thank you for that. That was awesome. That was an amazing tune.
Thank you.
We do want to let you know here that our YouTube channel is live, and we now have video on demands and some some things going on right now in the works with actually a video with Liam Jones.
Oh, cool.
Is kicking us off.
Liam.
And I believe you were at Untapped
was.
performing with Liam Jones. I noticed you there.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. How did you get to know Liam?
It was through a mutual friend named Hishan. He's a wonderful person, and he introduced me to Liam because he was like, "Oh, y'all are musicians, you know, and guitar players and stuff." We both had a love for John Mayer, and it was we just hit it off really fast, man. We just both had a similar vibe, and like we just got along really well. And then the pandemic hit, we kind of lost touch for a bit, and then he hit me up out of nowhere because the drummer he was working with, Dion Nubel, I had worked with when I was like about 18. And so he was like, "Oh yeah, this dude, he recommended me that I call you." And I was like, "Oh, I already know this dude."
Yeah.
So it was a cool experience, and I was really happy to get the call, man, because it was a wonderful, wonderful night. I really loved playing that gig with him. His music's incredible.
Yeah.
If you don't know about Liam Jones, definitely go check him out because he's a great artist with a lot of great music on the way. I'm lucky enough to have heard some of it, and it's killing. It's really killing. I'm really proud of the dude.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I was really, really impressed with everything he was doing, but I have to admit, as a guitar player, I was like, "Who's that?" And I was like, I definitely noticed some of your guitar playing in the back there. I was like, man, I need to learn some rhythm guitar again because that's out of this world. So you definitely added a lot to that as well.
Thank you, man.
We do have a question.
Yeah. What's up?
What is your favorite song that you have written? And why, actually?
Yeah, okay. Actually, you know what? This is kind of funny, but it's the next song on the list.
Well, there we go.
It's talk about a transition. Thank you. Who's
There
the
we
person?
go. This was actually by Bishop.
Bishop. Hey, Bishop.
You're up there
Yes.
by Bishop. There it
yes.
is.
Thank you, Bishop. You making it easy on us.
Yeah.
This song is called Bloom. It was one of the first songs I wrote for this that album Dapper Dan that I'm talking to you about, and it came out of nowhere, and it was just I'd started to really write music that was really happy because rather than feeling all this pain and just like kind of wallowing in it, kind of what I did in my first 2 records, which definitely had its own merit. I really wanted to express the love and the joy that you can feel in pain because there's growth within that, right? Whenever you go through a really hard time, the only thing that's going to come out of it is something a little bit better than was there before. Yeah. If you are willing to grow and willing to change who you are a little bit and like actually look at yourself honestly and not BS yourself and be like, oh, like I could do this and that, but that's not really me and like or whatever and I do that all the time. Like it's something recently that I've been trying to get more into is just generally trap music. I was never someone who really listened to it that much, but a lot of my friends really like it, and I'm not trying to be closed-minded. I'm trying to be open-minded, and that's always something that everyone's constantly working on. I think is growing. So this song is like about growth, awesome. Essentially. Yeah.
That's awesome. We love this guy, man. You got all the deep stuff, deep talks. It's great to hear. Well, if you're just joining us here, you are watching Mogul House Live. We have Ghadban with us today, and he's going to kick us off with his next tune. The title was?
Bloom.
Yeah. So definitely stay tuned. Stay listening.
Yeah. Oh, well, I can't wait to see all that you'll become. Got this look in your eye, yeah, like you know where you're coming from. I said I'll trust you if you trust me with everything you've got. But the topic turns sideways and we know just what we know. No, put aside hate for the chance to grow. All we've got is room to grow. You can change your old ways in favor of new ones, but you're stubborn as can be while your heart sings true, saying you're in bloom. Yeah, you're in bloom. Well, you're in bloom. Well, you're in bloom. It's the little things that you do. No, not for me, and no, not for me. No, look how you treat people. Ooh, always putting yourself first, yeah. You can change if you want to. All it takes a little love. No, put aside hate for the chance to grow. All we've got is room to grow. You can change your old ways in favor of new ones, but you're stubborn as can be. Your heart sings true, saying you're in bloom. Yeah, you're in bloom. Wow, you're in bloom. Wow, you're in bloom. Where can I start now? You're so far from me, my babe. I can only wait so long for you to come back. Now it's the same wave you've been on since I've come on home. Where can I go to now? Now that I'm alone.
My goodness. My goodness. That had me. I was in a trance just now. Wow. Wow. That was some killer guitar playing as well. Those little. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, bro.
Amazing riffs in there. That was incredible. And you can tell that everybody in the chat absolutely loved it as well. So definitely great. That's awesome, man. So I gotta ask. I know we asked a little bit about some influences.
Yeah.
But that guitar playing, I heard some blues stuff in there,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I gotta know who's some of your guitar playing influences. You talked a little bit about Jimi Hendrix, Stevie
100%.
Wonder,
Always
things
number
like that.
one. Always
Yeah.
number one. Man changed the game.
Yeah.
Can't deny that. Dude's songs just all still hit. Nobody can play like him still. He's the GOAT, always
Yeah.
and forever. But there's a lot. BB King is
Yeah.
another one, man. One of a kind. Stevie
Yeah.
Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
You know, these are the essentials, but they're essential for a reason because they are dang good, man.
Yeah.
They are just so good at what they do, and they have their own place. Like Jimmy got the cosmic down. BB King got that swing.
Yeah.
You know, really got that swing to him, and the vocals. Obviously, that dude could sing his ass off.
Yeah.
And then Stevie Ray Vaughan, man, had the chops.
Yeah.
And had just like so much. You just felt everything with that, and I just loved every bit of that. But one of my favorite artists is probably Howlin' Wolf as a blues artist,
man.
because that dude could just like he just had that I don't give a fuck kind of energy.
Yeah.
You know, he just was like, I just
Yeah.
don't care. You know, that's why I love Nick Hakim, because he was just like, I'm gonna sing how I sing, I'm gonna be how I be,
Yeah.
and you can take it or leave it
Yeah.
at the door. You know, I don't care. And so those are some of the biggest blues influences. I mean, I love all blues, man. I love like Muddy Waters, Elmore James
Yeah.
is incredible. I mean, there's so many. Etta James. I mean, Ray Charles is a big one. Ray Charles is a huge one for me. Because he was kind of also the bridge to jazz as well, because that man can swing his butt off. And I mean, yeah, there's just so many. I could go on for days. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Donny Hathaway obviously is like everyone who just like wants to like live and breathe is like, yeah, like Donny Hathaway slaps, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you're speaking my language. You're talking about like, oh man, you're hitting me with those names.
Sure. I mean,
But, yeah.
definitely as a songwriter though, I take a lot of inspiration from folk singers.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Bob Dylan is he's a goat. But my favorite folk singer and country artist is a man named Townes Van Zandt.
Gotcha.
He wrote some unbelievably intense songs, and he lived a very intense life.
Yeah.
Because when he was in his early 20s, I believe, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and at that time, people didn't vibe with that. They were like, oh, we'll just send you to electric shock therapy.
Yeah.
Because you're bipolar, and like
Wow.
that's not okay. We need to fix that, you know. And then he kind of forgot who he was, who his family were, and lived this really honestly depressing life. But his music, his songwriting, the words that he was speaking, really, they just really hit me in a different kind of way. So that was kind of also the bridge for my country love, because I'm not a big fan of like pop country, you know. I mean, I feel like a lot of people feel that. I am a fan of Wheeler Walker Jr., if you know who that is.
I've heard that name before. I feel like I've heard some of the
He's got
tunes.
some funny tunes. If
Nice.
you're okay with not getting offended, you can
Gotcha.
listen to him.
Gotcha,
'Cause
yeah.
He definitely has some risque content, to put it lightly. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but influence always looks so many different ways. It looks
Yeah.
it just goes in so many different directions. So,
100%.
but how man, you're talking about the heavy hitters. It's no wonder you have such amazing music and such amazing vocals and guitar playing. You are an incredible artist, and we are honored and blessed to have you here at Mogul House. So definitely excited for that, and we're excited for all the next projects that you have as well. In speaking about some of your influences, you told me that this last tune is a cover.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Stevie Wonder.
Absolutely, Stevie Wonder.
'Cause he's the big one. I mean, he's like overarching. He's got it all, man. Like his music just hits every emotion that you like, every good, bad, middle emotion that you got. I don't know if you know about the Life of Plants album.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
album, crazy. Just talking
Yeah.
about plants. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's Stevie Wonder, so he's always gonna kill it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the song I'm gonna sing is "Visions" by Stevie Wonder, which I was listening to that album on the way over here. Inner Visions is probably my favorite album of all time.
Yeah.
And Vision specifically, I love that tune.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
That's amazing. Well, we're excited to hear it here. If you're just joining us, welcome to Mogul House Live. We have Ghadban here with us. He's about to play us Visions by Stevie Wonder, and we're all very, very excited for it. So take us away.
That sounds good.
People hand in hand. Oh, have I lived to see the milk and honey land? Where hate's a dream and love forever stands. Is this a vision in my mind? The law is never passed, but somehow all men feel they're truly free at last. Have we really gone this far through space and time? Is this some vision in my mind? Oh yeah, no. I'm not one to make believe. I know these leaves are green. They only change to brown. The world comes around. I know just what I say. Today is not yesterday, and all things have an ending. But what I'd like to know is, could a place like this exist so beautiful? Or do we have to take on wings and fly away to the visions in our mind? Visions, yeah, no. days are green, they only change to brown when autumn comes around. I know just what I say. Today is not yesterday, and all things have an ending. What I'd like to know is, could a place like this exist so beautiful? Do we have to take on wings and fly away to the visions in our mind?
Wow. Wow. That was absolutely incredible. Not a lot of people can pull off covering Stevie Wonder, but that was just fantastic.
Thank you,
That
dude.
was amazing. That was amazing. Wow. Just so many intricate chord changes that you're doing while you're singing such amazing vocals. Just incredible. What drove you to choose that song as a cover?
What was one of the first songs I heard by him that made me like I could really hear him playing guitar, and that man can play the
Yeah.
guitar, he can play everything. You're like, oh, just piano, drums, and vocals? Nope, he can play everything.
Yeah.
I was also really drawn to it by someone who is kind of a big brother and a mentor to mine. His name is MJ Ultra. He's a wonderful artist who's from out here. He's originally from Pittsburgh, but he's pretty. He's done a lot of shows around here. He usually plays with House of Vibe, a great band. And they were kind of like, they really taught me a lot when I was coming up, because when my dad managed him when I was like 14 or 15, he was managing him. He was like, and there he was living with us, and we just became very close. I went on like my first tour with him. It was very like, bummy. We were like, just going into hostels and like just doing it, by the skin of our teeth. But he taught me so much about music, and specifically Stevie Wonder. And that song specifically, he was like, this is my favorite Stevie Wonder song, because I feel like this is what he's like, he's trying to tell us what he's seeing.
Yeah.
And that just like, hit different. And when he said that to me, I was like, okay, maybe there's something like here that I really should be really listening deep for. And not only the intricate chord changes and how just beautiful the progression is, but the lyrics, what he's talking about. It's something, I could never get it out of my head. And as I grew more confident with my voice, as I got older, it was something that I was like, I would really like to tackle, not only because I just love the song, but I have a lot of love for MJ, because he showed me how to really sing and write songs, and when he really didn't have to. And I'm forever grateful for that. So I always wanted to learn that and kind of, tribute to him. He's my brother. So
Yeah, absolutely. And we're glad that he did, because we have such an amazing guest with us here, Ghadban, and we are so happy to have had you here. And
thank you, man.
So tell us a little bit before we close out here. Tell us about where we can find your music, where we can connect with you. We want to get to know you, man.
Sounds good. Well, I just released my new album. I have 2 albums out, an album and an EP. You can find those on all streaming platforms, including SoundCloud. I got it on there too.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you can listen to all that music there if you want. I'm on Instagram. I go by, it's @_Ghadban. _. And those are like the main places you can find me. I'll be creating a Twitch very soon, so I'll have that. But if you follow my Instagram, you'll have all of that information. Nice. I'm trying to get more on top of that. That's something that I haven't really been too worried about, but it's something that I'm trying to kind of tackle more recently, is getting more on social media and building my presence there. Yeah. So I really appreciate everyone that has listened and shown love in the chat, and everybody here who's been putting this together and supporting. I love all you guys. This means a lot to me. So thank you all. Yeah.
Well, you mean a lot to us. We're really, really happy to have had you here, and we're really excited to see more of your presence on social media as well. I know I definitely followed before we even got live here. I was like, oh man, this guy's got it. So I'm definitely in there. I'm about what you got here, and I know a lot of us here in chat are about what you're about as well. One more reminder about our YouTube channel. We have a new YouTube channel that you can go subscribe to, and you'll be able to see Liam Jones and his performance. Yeah, great artist
Liam
we had here
Jones.
at Untapped, and you performed with here at Untapped
Yes,
as well.
the homie.
Very awesome stuff. And yeah, so we're very excited to launch that YouTube channel. Go over there and subscribe. You'll be able to access all of our video on demands as well as yours, which will be awesome. I'll definitely be watching this one back, so definitely go check those ones out. And yeah, we are just super happy to have had you here, and we really just can't thank you enough for gracing us with such beautiful music. That was really incredible, and you got a fan for sure. You got one fan at least,
Yeah,
and
thank
plenty
you.
more in chat. So yeah, we're definitely happy to have had you here. So thank you all for tuning in. You were watching Mogul House live with Ghadban, and we are just really excited we got to have you here. So thank you all so much, and we'll see you next time.